2 sips in.
So, Carrie Goolsby, how are you?
Take 2.
Oh, wow, that was a big laugh.
Our mic acted up there as soon as we tried to record, so
we're both
we're repeating.
Yeah,
Go
we're
ahead,
both.
Go ahead, Patrick Smith.
I'm just saying we're both a little bit stressed or off our game right now because
think so.
Just different external things going on that are, I know, taking me off my game. Mm-hmm. But we have to move beyond that and drink
more. The show must go on.
And my solution to that is just have another cocktail.
It solves everything.
It does.
I know. We're going to have campaigns to save us from our alcoholism.
I know, but we don't really drink.
This is the only day I typically
I was going to say, this is about,
Yeah.
I might drink one other day a week if there's some social thing that's going on. But otherwise,
totally.
I only drink because of business purposes.
Yeah.
That we have a podcast that we have to do. And we have to drink. It's
and
just our thing.
It's part of the gimmick, guys. Normally, we're straight-laced folks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They buy it. Can you tell
Sure,
if they bought
let's go with that.
Oh, man. No, but coming off a work conference and, again, 24/7 with people all around you, it's just like...
That is a bit much.
I can be an extrovert when I need to be.
Right.
But deep down, I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
And I literally spent the last 2 days just sitting at home.
Sometimes you just need to hibernate after those types of things because it's just too overwhelming. There's too much bombardment from different directions.
Well, and you have to be on all the time. Almost,
you do.
Yeah. Between the actual work
I
questions
say
and
that often.
And
it's
the
like
social standards. Yeah.
I'll say that quite frequently. It's like, look, I have to be on all day long. Mm-hmm. That's my career. That's what I do. It requires me to be on all day long. So by the time evening comes around, 8 o'clock, 8:30, I'm wanting to kind of unwind. And so God forbid, like tomorrow night, I have a company dinner. And so I don't get to unwind until I literally am going to be going to bed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, it's rough.
Yeah, it is.
Very rough. So I've got that going on. You got work stuff going on. We're both kind of not quite in our headspace.
Yeah, I feel out of my element. I'm just different today.
Well, no, we're in your house.
Well, I'm in my physical element, but mentally I feel like I'm not. So.
All right.
So we don't have a topic, and so we're going to go ahead and Carrie's going to Google, and
ridiculous, and my options are.
I know. I love how you just type in a few things and Google comes up with all these suggestions.
It's great.
The first thing when you type most RID, it says most ridiculous Bible verses. So I want to hear some of these.
Most in the Bible.
Oh my gosh, the top 2, yeah. And then we go by most ridiculous laws, most ridiculous names. Well, we all know chiffon isn't ridiculous.
God, something happened this week with a weird name, and I wanted to remember it for you, and now I can't.
But then we go to most ridiculous goop products. Where did that come in?
Or is that sticky stuff?
Do people really Google most ridiculous goop products?
Apparently.
I think let's go with most ridiculous Bible verses because number one, our goal should always be to offend half the population.
All right, so we got ridiculous Bible verses, list of the craziest biblical verses.
This is awesome. I can't wait.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Top 20 Bible passages to use against fundamentalists. Oh, this is getting better. I really like this.
All right, guys. So number 1, deformed people cannot approach God.
Well,
do you want to read the verse? I'm not very biblical.
Oh, yeah, I know. For whatsoever man he be that hath a blemish, he shall not approach. A blind man or a lame, I like how they say a lame, or he that hath a flat nose, or anything superfluous, or a man that is broken-footed, or broken-handed, or crook-backed, or a dwarf, or that hath a blemish in his eye, or be scurvy, or scabbed, or hath his stones broken.
Stones
I
broken.
don't know.
Wait a minute. Is that your testicles?
I'm thinking it might be. No man that hath a blemish of the seed of Aaron, the priest, shall come shall come nigh to offer the offerings of the Lord made by fire. He hath a blemish. He shall not come nigh to offer the bread of his God. Of course, it's
Leviticus.
From Leviticus. No
So
doubt.
this is really specific, though. Like, you can't have a big nose. You can't have any broken bones.
No, you
Don't
can have a big nose. You
sty.
just can't have a flat nose.
A flat. What does a flat nose look like? Like what? He just swiped his hand down his face, like ever so slow and like dramatic too.
A lot of Native Americans have flat noses. But do you think that in times of Leviticus that they knew American
right? What were
Native
they?
Americans
Who were they
existed?
targeting?
Right. So that's what you have to go back to. Who were they targeting?
Who were they
because
targeting?
Leviticus is really pretty much all about hatred anyway.
So basically, no one's getting into heaven.
No. So
Blemish in his eye. What
I
the
know.
fudge does that mean?
I don't know,
And then
but
half
and the
his
scurvy. You can't have
stone's broken.
scurvy.
Why do we break our stones? Do you
I
want me
would
to write
like.
that down for
I
you?
would because I don't know how to do it. But I love the little synopsis afterwards. Apparently, God reads us weekly and takes it to heart. Although since He is all-knowing and all-powerful, then that also means that He reads every magazine ever written. So it rhetorically isn't an untrue statement that yes, God reads Out magazine. Oh, I like that. If any of our listeners, Out magazine is a gay.
If they don't know what Out magazine
lesbian
is, they probably
magazine,
aren't listening to
right?
us.
Probably not.
Christians are always saying God loves everyone.
So, according to the Bible, people who are born with or acquire defects throughout their lives should not approach the altar of a church to make an offering to God because they hath a blemish. I have a blemish right now.
I know, right?
I think it's
Who
an ingrown hair.
doesn't?
I know.
Congrats, God, if you found a way to hold every disabled and unprotected person responsible for the things out of the control and make them feel like crap.
Yeah.
By the way, this list is on ranker.com.
That's awesome. What's number 19? Because I feel like we spent a lot of time on number 20. And if
No,
it
that was number 1.
Oh, that was number 1. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Number 2.
No, this is great. Non-virgins are to be stoned, as in with rocks.
Not as in high.
Now, does this go back to breaking our stones?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, stone to their. Does that mean rape?
I don't know. Oh,
No, it means stoned. We all know.
yeah.
But if this thing be true, I am horrible at reading the Bible, by the way, because I'm dyslexic as is.
Oh, okay. Then
so
I
like
can
the
read
thous
this.
and the this and the that shit.
And there's
like,
a lot
oh,
of
Jesus
words that just we don't
Christ.
use anymore. And this is out of
Virginity be not-
Then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die, because she hath wrought folly in Israel to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put evil away from among you. Wow, we accelerated quickly on that one. So once again, we perpetrate violence against women right from the get-go here.
I like the last one here.
So, this also means that in order to enforce a rule like this, churches need to have regular hymen checks at the door. Well, but they don't. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Anyway.
That's disturbing.
And I think we all have heard that one before, right? So it's not too shocking per se.
Yeah.
A woman's punishment for defending her husband.
Is cut off her hand. Boy,
What?
For defending her husband? Isn't she supposed to defend
That's
him?
why I read that twice. I'm like, defend. Yeah, no, that says defending, guys. I don't
And
know.
not
There you go.
offending? When
Tell
men
us.
strive together one with another, and the wife of one draweth near for to deliver her husband out of the hand of him that smiteth him, and putteth forth her hand, and taketh him by the secrets, then thou shalt cut off her hand, thine eye shall be not pity her. What the
I'm not
fuck
sure
does
if
that
I
shit
say-
mean?
You, me, or the Bible? Which one of us is drunk?
So I do have a copy of Every Man's Bible, which breaks down this
What it
language
actually means.
into what
Yeah.
we have the way
Right.
we speak today.
So if you try to disturb two guys fighting,
Right.
right,
So the
thou shalt cut off her hand.
yeah, and the synopsis on this is
I shall
okay.
not
This one is
pity her.
insanely specific, which makes it that much more awesome. This probably never happens, but if a faithful wife decided to defend her husband by grabbing a guy by his junk, anyone would have God's blessing to cut off her hand. How do you
Where
do?
did the junk
I
come
don't
from?
know, but I'm now
Taketh
intrigued.
him by
the secrets. Oh, so your junk is your secrets, or
Was
the
this a
secrets is
common
your
de-
junk.
Was this a common defense move back in the?
I don't know, because you're
000s?
defending your husband by grabbing another man's junk. I'm going to try
Kick
that
him,
one.
okay.
No, I want to try that.
Me.
I'm just defending you.
I've got two hands. You can take one.
Look, I'm defending you twice as much.
Yeah, no, that is pretty weird.
Oh,
Oh, I love this one. Giving birth to a daughter makes you unclean for 66 days.
that's pretty precise.
That is
66
a specific.
days.
Someone did their math. Someone
I
studied
know, right?
to figure out how long
I
until
wonder
she
why
were clean.
66.
All right, give us the verse.
Oh, but if she bear a maid child, then she
maid
shall be
child.
unclean 2 weeks, as in her separation, and she shall continue in the blood of her purifying 66 days. So
sorry,
66
what?
days, yeah. So she
66.
shall continue in the blood of her purifying 66 days. Of course, in another Leviticus passage. Why
know.
not? Oh, I'm very disturbed by not by this as much as the people who just buy into this shit.
This makes me want to read the Bible. So number 5 is if you disobey God, you will eat your babies.
Well, maybe that's why so many animals eat their young.
They disobey
They
God.
disobey God.
Okay. This is
So-
a nice long Leviticus. Take
Oh
it
my
away.
God. If in spite of this, you should still do not listen to me, but continue to be hostile toward me. 28, then in my anger, I will be hostile toward you. And I myself will punish you for your sins 7 times over. 29, you will eat the flesh of your sons and the flesh of your daughters. So this is, again, Leviticus at chapter 26. Verses 27 through 30. So,
And that's why they
yeah,
put the numbers in there,
right.
which is really confusing. I'm like, why did we
I
just
know,
say
why
28,
28?
and why
Yeah.
on this one only? Anyways, so, I've never heard a human do this.
Nope, I never have. I wouldn't want to eat my young.
So I feel like this was a threat because there are like rabbits, rats. There are some bad parents that will eat their
Right.
young. If they were making them as an example, like, see, this is what happens.
Right? Yeah.
Not that there was ever a documented case of it. Oh, I've heard this one before. If your brother dies, you need to bang your wife. His wife.
Bang his wife.
His
No,
wife.
it's just your brotherly duty.
Yeah.
Master Moses wrote unto us, if a man's brother die and leave his wife behind him and leave no children, that his brother should take his wife and raise up seed unto his brother. Well, that's
funny
very
story.
kind of him. He's just looking out after his dead brother.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's also in Mark because there's a story of someone, I don't really know names, even in real life, let alone the
No.
Bible, that the brother died, and so he was being a good person and took up the wife, air quote, and while they were doing it, he got guilty. He was having guilt
Right.
remorse and pulled out and spilled his seeds, and so God killed him.
Oh, geez. Damn.
I painted something about that. I have a handful, I think like 4 paintings that I did off of strange ass
Right.
things.
That's
like,
so
don't spill
funny.
the seed.
Oh, my
But
God.
yeah, he was killed for spilling his seed, air quote.
Well,
So don't jack off, guys.
I guess not.
God's going to kill you.
Oh, jeez.
Might take 80 years, but he's going to kill you.
See, told you. He was 104 years old, and look,
But
he got
look,
what was coming to
yeah.
him. So number 7, no bastards may enter the church. Well, it's not their fault they're a bastard. I mean, you're a bastard only because of the sins of your parents or for the
Right.
actions of your parents. A bitch shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Lord. 10th generation, 200
So-
years.
I like the word bitch. Duh.
I know.
It's bitch with ed.
Yeah, you're a
Bitched.
past tense bitch.
You're bitched. It's not like you bitched at someone.
No.
It's
You're-
it's a noun instead of
It isn't. It's a yes.
an adjective. Yeah, so that's kind of weird, but okay.
Yeah. Again, if you're a bastard, that you have no control over that. Oh
Men
wow,
with
my
wounded
goodness.
or missing male parts are not allowed in church.
And I like how if you have a wounded male part.
Who's checking this?
I don't know, but they're doing hymen checks at the door, so
They're doing
apparently they're
hymen
doing
and
penis
testicle and-
checks too.
Yeah.
I just think it's one
Oh,
big orgy.
he that is wounded in the stones.
Oh,
So
there you
yes,
go.
They
It
are
is- those
using
are your
stones as testicles.
Yes. So,
All right.
or hath his privy member cut off. How do you get that? How does that happen? So apparently back in the
Don't get hard
day,
during war.
well, apparently a few thousand years ago, it wasn't that uncommon to have your privy member cut off. They shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. So eunuchs apparently must remain outside the church.
And what is the logic behind this?
Well, I'm not sure.
on,
I
let me-
mean,
I'm trying to-
let's see if it says.
First of all, King James.
Oh, now you're just mumble reading, and people don't understand that. So first of all, yes, the King James Bible actually calls them stones. You are now aware of the fact that the stones euphemism is a biblical reference. Also, God hates people with testicular cancer. Apparently, if it wasn't already bad enough that these poor dudes have wounded stones and members, it turns out that if they choose to practice proper Christianity, they can never go to church again. That's balls. I just don't know really where to go with that, because it's like, I'm not sure why.
Is it because you can no longer reproduce in most religions?
Probably. It's all
about-
based on reproducing.
It's all about continuing their word.
Yeah. Oh
That's my guess. I'm
goodness.
guessing. Your family is your enemy, and you are all competing for God's love.
Okay, well, this is odd. So
That's a strange statement,
it
period,
really,
just to say.
isn't
So
it? This is from Matthew. Matthew was a really good guy. I mean, he was all about.
I don't like Matt. You know me and Matt.
I know, but Matthew was all touchy-feely.
They all seem that way.
Well, they're touchy-feely in a different way.
That's how they all come off.
Oh my
but
God. So this is from chapter 10, verses 35. So, I'm having a hard time reading that. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
So it pretty much just sounds like God is a very selfish little shit.
No,
I'm
he
more
wants you to be a
important.
selfish little shit.
I'm more important than
It's
your
all
parents.
about you.
You guys fight, so you don't like each other as much. It's about me.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting, I guess. I don't know. Well, here you go.
A woman will never teach or have authority over men.
I kind of agree with that. Should be the one.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah.
Okay, and they have I permit no woman to teach or have authority over men. She is to keep silent.
Yeah.
Timothy.
Oh. Timothy just doesn't get enough recognition, so it's good that they included something.
Yeah.
I mean, really, do you ever hear the book of Timothy?
Do I ever hear the book of?
Well, you don't
insert
hear
anything.
Right. So number 13, give a thief your belongings. Just give them to him. Well, I guess it's better to give them to him than to get your hand
Cut off?
Yeah.
No, his hand will be cut off, right?
Well, yeah, it's because he stole your things.
Yeah.
So if any man will sue thee at the law and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also.
Huh?
So I guess you give him your coat and your cloak.
I don't get it.
So
Why?
in other words,
what's the point of this one?
So in other words, if somebody is stealing from you, he
Yeah.
probably needs it more than you. So go ahead and let him have it and give him a little something extra.
Then why do we cut off their hands?
Well, that's their punishment if they steal. But if you give it to him, then he doesn't need to steal it from you.
Okay, number 14 is invite your attacker to beat you more.
Well, that could be good in some circles, I guess, but I don't see the justification in this. But I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on my right cheek, turn to him the other also. So it's like turn the other cheek.
Yeah, but they're saying turn the other cheek so you can really, please, sir, may I have another?
Yeah,
like they're
I
saying
know.
hit this side now,
Right?
Not like turn the other cheek as in look the other way.
Right, exactly.
So what I'm learning from this.
There's a lot of
God.
violence.
Thank God we have the
Oh,
Kardashians.
the Kardashians,
Thank God
yeah.
they made it in because
Yeah.
I think we missed an episode without them.
I know.
The Bible seems to be very outdated, and maybe we shouldn't necessarily listen to it as much nowadays.
Is that what you're taking from this?
That's what I'm taking from this.
What I'm getting out of this is there's a lot of violence in the Bible.
Well, that we knew.
It might make a good
we
movie.
Knew that, yeah. Ten Commandments. I think there's a ton of them out there, actually.
Oh my God.
Discipline your little ones.
Yeah, well, that goes without
Duh,
saying.
right?
Yeah. Happy shall be he that taketh and dasheth. Why do they have to put "eth" at the end of everything?
Little.
Happy shall be he that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Oh, here,
What?
we're putting more stones in there.
And I can't decipher when they're talking genitalia and when they're talking
Or
actual
rocks.
stones.
Right.
Like, are they suggesting we molest children?
No, who knows?
I hope not.
I hope not either.
Oh, yeah.
So, number 16. Yes, it's going that quickly. Even a look counts as adultery. Oh, well, I am just one adulterous son of a
one
bitch.
whore, let me tell
Because
ya.
they did show a cute guy in there, too. So, I'm looking.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so... But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. Yeah, and I see where they're coming from, and this is why women are supposed to cover up so men cannot be tempted.
Because it's all the women's fault.
Yep, it is. And it looks like we have some photos of Rihanna now. Women must cover their hair during prayer.
Why?
Well, maybe it'll tell you. This is from Corinthians.
Every woman that prays.
Soft Corinthian leather.
What?
But-
I'm like, wait, I thought you were reading it. I'm like, wait,
Oh, no.
What?
But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth
Prophesieth?
with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head. Nobody better dishonoreth my head.
So it's not about God this time. It's about your own head.
It's about your own head. Don't dishonor it.
All right, whatever.
Oh, man.
I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, men are supposed to cover their heads too, I think.
Well, we knew that. Divorcing and remarrying is considered adultery.
Right.
Right. If you're good, you don't.
And then
get
another photo of a Kardashian.
Another Kardashian,
Yeah.
just to make you happy.
Just because they have a lot of boyfriends and husbands.
Love thy neighbor. Seriously.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke, reason with thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Another Leviticus. So this pretty much means that every single Westboro Baptist Church protest is inherently unchristian.
Duh.
Well, I think we kind of all
I was
knew
gonna say, I
that
think everyone kinda
inherently.
understood.
Yeah. Oh, so we get to the 20th one. Go for it.
No intercourse during a woman's period.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I can't.
It just makes for a mess anyway.
It
let's
just
be
makes for a
honest.
mess. And really, who's really in the mood? I mean, a woman's not feeling clean. It's like, can't we wait a few days? It's like, by then my hormones are kicking in and I'm going to be really in the mood.
And also, her periods in the Bible are considered uncleanliness.
Right. Thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness as long as she is put apart for her uncleanliness. Yeah, women, again, in the Bible are just objects
Secondhand.
that are
Yep.
considered
Yep.
just unclean people. So that was a lot of fun. Not. So we just, it's funny though, if you just type in a few things into a
Right.
Google search.
Yeah.
You don't
Okay.
obviously have to complete sentences.
All right, guys, find us all the places that you find us, and every Tuesday we will bring you a new episode, and
Or at least hope to.
And we try our best. Okay,
Yeah.
we try our best.
Sometimes the best isn't good enough.
Sometimes.